Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, Ron here at Ablesys. I'll be glad to answer your questions and go over the charts. We'll take a look and see what the signals were. It was a real choppy day, intraday today, but you always seem to get an occasional day like that. That's for sure. For some reason, Wednesdays have been very good for intraday trading. It's probably just a coincidence. I know I've mentioned that a few times, but watch tomorrow is not so good. However, it just seems like it's been real smooth on Wednesdays. Today was awfully choppy and in a very narrow trading range. Although we did have a couple of decent moves, but we'll go over that in a minute because the software works just the same, just as equally well for longer term trading. And we have a lot of clients who trade longer term, daily and weekly stock charts, especially for option traders. There's two things you can do. You can use a daily, weekly for a little bit of a longer term trade, like this chart here of Snap. This is a daily, weekly combination. Of course, it's always two charts combined into one, two time frames combined into one. And we have three different indicators on the chart. So for us to get a signal, for a valid Able trend signal, we need to have triple confirmation. We need to have three indicators in two different time frames. That's what makes it low risk, and they're certainly going to be losing trades, that's for sure. I'll guarantee you that. I'm never going to mislead anyone. Yet we also do have stop losses in place, and it's very important because stop management is probably the most important thing. To keep your losses small and to keep it low risk. And you just have to take all the trades because, of course, nobody knows which ones are going to be the winners and losers before they happen. If that were the case, we'd never have a loser. But it's always the same colors and dots, same rules. And what we're looking for is we're looking for triple confirmation before we take a trade. The first time we get the combination of a red bar, red dot, and a red X would be a perfect time to go short or to buy puts if you trade options. By the way, another good chart that I like for swing trading, a little shorter time frame, would be a 2-hour and a daily combination. So that's 120 minutes and a daily, because a daily is only 6.5 hours, and that's just for stock trading. That's for stock trading only. So a 120-minute daily for swing trading stocks, which would be very good for options, would be another good one also. But getting back here, because it's always the same colors and dots and it's the same rules. So we had a really nice sell signal there, as you can see. And that dropped went as low as you could get here. Finally we were out over here on the blue bar, blue dot. Now, as long as you've got these red dots above, it means stay short, you're safe. It's going to block the prices from going higher. That's resistance on the daily chart. The X's is the resistance on the weekly chart, a higher time frame. So we've got nice protection above the price to help to stop it, or at least slow it down from going any higher. We're going to stay short all the way, and as far as stop losses go, we're going to always put the stop loss just a little bit above the high, and in this case, let's say for a stock, let's call it 2% for stocks, above the top of the red bar. Again, this is stocks. This is a little different than futures. So we're going to put it about 2% above the red dot, and down it goes. How we manage it from there is to then put the stop loss at the previous higher red dot, second higher row of red dots above the price. So for example, let's say when the price is here, this is the red dot above. This would be the previous higher level or row of red dots. So we just keep managing it, keep lowering the stop loss lower and lower and lower, locking in, at this point, a lot of profit, and then we're finally out on the blue bar, blue dot. We never got stopped out. We would exit on the blue bar because blue, of course, means uptrend, enabled trend, especially the first blue dot means an uptrend is starting, enabled trend. First red bar and red dot would mean a downtrend is starting, enabled trend, and we then go short again. We've got triple confirmation, red bar, red dot, red X, two different time frames and three different indicators. We're all saying it's going lower until we got out over here, which is about a small winner, but we'll call that a break even. And then, of course, we're going to go long right here. Triple confirmation, long signal. Now we are stopped out here. So once you get stopped out, we then go back in on a sweet spot. A sweet spot is a blue bar, blue dot, blue X after the price has come down and touched support. And it did that right here. So it came back down, touched support. We actually got stopped out and lost a small loss, but you know, was a loss. It was a small loss. Losses are always small with Abletrend because we always have stop losses in place. So that's the nice part about it. We never ever get beat up on a trade. And then we're going to go long, back again long. We'll buy puts on the sweet spot. After it touches support, the bar goes from green to blue. Go right back in again. And we're going to ride this one all the way up. Keeps on going higher and higher. Again, put your stop loss previous lower blue dot. When the price was here, here's the blue dots below. We put it at the next step down, next level down. So we just keep moving it higher and higher. We're still in the trade today. Stop loss would be right there. Again, here's the blue dot below, and there's the previous step down or the previous lower level. So I got stop loss at $10.20, and we entered the trade here. Oh, this was a good one. At about $6.50. So good stuff. Nice profit in this one, and we're going to stay in it. We'll stay in it forever, of course, as long as it stays above our stop loss. Or if we get a red bar. First red bar, we're going to exit because that would mean short-term downtrend. But we've been in this one for like 2 months, so anybody who had that, you know, anybody got in on this one or had Abletrend for a couple of months now and trade stocks on a daily, weekly chart, you got yourself a home run right here. This is big time right here, like 80%. This is crazy. We'll take it. Looks good. Going now, that's a long-term stock chart because it works, again, as I said, it works equally well for swing trading stocks or position trading stocks and as well as intraday and day trading. So let's jump in on the day trading signals. Jump over to a day trading chart. I got to tell you, RTY, which is the Russell, it's been awfully interesting, pretty smooth chart. Now on choppy, narrow, sideways days like today, the NASDAQ is a big mover, so it's great on good days, but it's choppy as heck on these sideways, choppy, sideways, narrow range days. So you got to take the the bad with the good. On the good days, it's terrific. I mean, it's a fast mover. NQ. ES, I'd say, is a little less, little less of a mover, which some people like that better. That's a good thing sometimes. And then you got RTY. A couple of people have been mentioning this recently, so let's jump in and take a quick look at this. This RTY has been kind of interesting here. Kind of interesting. Right at the open here today, had a beautiful signal. Triple confirmation. Red bar, red dot, red X, 3 time frames agree. We're going to put our stop loss 3 ticks above. 3 ticks is 30 cents because the RTY, the Russell, goes in 10-cent increments. So 3 ticks is $30 above the top of the red price bar. And down and away it went. Now for intraday trading, we like to put the stop loss, and again, this is the Russell, we're going to put it 3 ticks above the second green bar in a row. That's kind of a warning that it could turn around or the trend is weakening. So we're going to put the stop loss right about there, just a couple ticks above that green bar. And actually, the next bar, we are stopped out. Now, out on the way down, we're going to go 2 rows of red dots above the price. So just for an example, in the middle of the trend, like right here, there's the red dot above. We have the stop loss there. So that's nice because we couldn't lose on the trade. We shorted it here at 1360 and a half, 1560 and a half. We had the stop loss down here at 58. Now we move it. The whole key is to try and keep moving your stop loss lower and lower because then you're locking in profit. And eventually, once you get past the point where you got in, you can't lose. So that's the key. Follow these red dots down and always lag, 1 higher row of dots. Or if you see 2 green bars in a row, then you can really lower the stop loss closer. Again, the key to everything is to get the stop loss as close to the price as possible, but not too close. And Abletrend will tell you where to put it. You don't want it too close because then any little pullback, you'll get stopped out. And then if it keeps going lower, you miss out on a big run. So the stop loss management is really the key to intraday trading. Nothing more important in day trading than that. Just have to have that stop loss fairly close, not too close again that you get stopped out, but at the same time, you don't want to have it too far away so that if it shoots up like it did right here, you give back all your profit. So it's hard to find a happy medium. So we put it 3 ticks above the second green bar, which is great. We got in at 60.5, got the stop loss all the way down here. Let me move this out of my way here so I can see the prices. Stop loss then would be down at 53.5. I mean, that's 7 points at $50 a point. Now, let's just take 1 point off just for the heck of it, because I like to make the winners smaller and exaggerate the losses, unlike what everybody else does and tries to do the opposite. I hate when that's done to me. So I call it like it is. We're very serious about our trading. We tell it like it is, good or bad. So, you got a $300 winner right off the bat. That worked out nice. Sweet spot here. Gave back a point. Because it wasn't a winner. And I'm working on something, just to tell you, I'm always working on something every day. I'm always trying to make this better. And boy, do I take this serious. You wouldn't believe it. You just wouldn't believe it, how serious I am about this and making it good for you, me, and everyone else. Because we're always looking to tweak, just slight little tweaks. We never, ever make any big changes. Just little tweaks, stop loss management, and other things. And I'm constantly working on things to see, and I don't just, one good day. I've got to see, multiple days and back test it before I make a little tweak to try and basically cut down on losing trades. The entries are great with Able Trend, as well as the exits, but I'm always just trying to tweak it so we can have better stop loss management or avoid choppy markets as much as possible. Now, it's an impossibility to avoid everything, to avoid all chop. I mean, if you did that, you've got the holy grail in a perfect system. I mean, that's an impossibility. It's not reality. Well, if we can just cut down on, 1 or 2 additional losing trades a day, now that turns out to be like, thousands of dollars by the end of the month. So always got my eye on that, and just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I'm never just complacent, that's for sure. I want to try and get it better and better and better. So the next trade here, triple confirmation, would be right there. Stop loss goes just 3 ticks below the bottom of that first blue bar, and we lost like 2 ticks on that, 20 cents on that trade. Now, that was a super small losing trade there. So we're still, doing very well. And it's the same colors and dots. It's the same rules, no matter what you trade. It doesn't matter if you're trading stock, ES, NQ, any kind of intraday trading. It's the exact same rules. So what I'm doing on this chart is the same thing on any chart. Yep, NQ, choppy all day. Yes, Cheryl, it was. Last week, good week. Week before that, fantastic week. So the past 2 weeks, excellent. We're being the profit a lot of money. Today, choppy day all day. NQ, choppy all day today. Yes, it was. Very good week last week. Extremely good week 2 weeks ago. So we're certainly in the positive, way ahead of the game going into a day like today. And it's going to happen. You can't control it. I can't. Nobody can control the market price action. You just can't control the price action. Some days it's in a very narrow range, and you get these little zigzag up and down moves all day. And when that happens, everybody loses. You just can't win. I mean, every trader in the world loses on a day like today. Fortunately, we've got a guidance chart, so we have 2 time frames combined together, and we're going to cut down on a lot of the choppy markets. No trade zone here. You've got a triple confirmation trade there. Again, small loss. We got that stop loss close enough. It's just a little bit below the bottom of that first blue price bar. However, nice trade right here. Another good run. Down and away it went. And then we were stopped out right here, which is a little bit above that second green bar. So we had another nice little trade here. As choppy as NQ was today, and it certainly was ES2, Russell was a winner. So that's what I really like to gauge it. When I see a really choppy day, I want to say, boy, if you can win on a choppy day like today, you got my attention then. That's really when I want to test out the system, is on a real ugly, choppy day. And Russell was a winning day today. Worked out. It was a really good day. So I just throwing that out there. Our good friend Skip here, who's had Able Trend for quite a while. He's been pushing the Russell and ES, the E-mini ES and the NQ were just really tight trading ranges today, and it was chop city. I hate that, boy. I hate when that happens, but that's just the way it was. So keep an eye on RTY is my point. Dennis says a choppy day on ES. Yes, it was, but he's got a stop loss method under control. Thank you. You're welcome. Although I didn't make anything, I only lost a couple points. Hey, you know what? You only lost a couple points on the day like today. I gotta say, great job, because today's about as doesn't get a lot worse. Yeah, there are worse days, but there are very few days worse than today, as choppier than today. So that's kind of a good sign, only losing a couple points on a day like today. Because once you get kind of back to normal and you get a nice, usually you get one good trend during the day, sometimes two, then you're going to say, wow, this now, having your stop loss management under control, then you're going to really say, hey, you know what? I like this now I've got it down pat. So I'm getting back over here, buy signal, stop loss goes, again, just a little bit under these two green bars. So we're going to be stopped out right there because it of course, would have been stopped out there. And, again, pick up another point winner there. Here's the sweet spot, and we're going to give the point right back because we'd have been stopped out there on the sweet spot. And then it's like the 12:30 to 2 o'clock Eastern time, dead zone. So we avoided this whole mess. That's what about all you can call it, is a mess. And then we've got a buy signal there, which we're going to get. I don't know if we would have stopped out on that one. Actually, we were not. We'd still be in this one, and then there's about a break even because we'd be out over here. So that was a break even trade. Peter, good one, Peter. Peter says he blames Michael in the options moneymaker room for today as he was on vacation. Yes, he was. He's in California this week. I'll tell him you said that because we keep in touch. But then you got the rest of the day here, as you can see. So up and a nice little trade toward the end of the day. Let me just show you the Nasdaq, because this was it just doesn't get a whole lot worse than that. The good thing is it doesn't get much worse than today trading the NQ. Right from the beginning, just the first trade of the day, although that's more than 10 points, and we don't like to take a trade when you have a longer than a 10-point price bar. Valid trade, but I use the 10-point rule for NQ. Just don't like to start a trade on a 10-point bar. Why? The longer the price bars, I've said this in the past, the greater the chance it pulls back, because everybody piled in long and on this bar. When I say everybody, most people piled in and got long on this price bar, so they weren't kind of exhausted all the buyers. And 9 out of 10 times when you get a really long bar, it pulls back like that. It just the way, really long like that bar there. It usually pulls back. So you be careful getting in on those long bars. But then pretty much, you can see here the rest of the day, it was quite, valid trade here. Stop loss goes right there. And we'd have been taken out right there. We've got a valid able trend triple confirmation trade right there. That was a winning trade, small winner, but was a winning trade. We'd have been ticked out right about there. And it was just pretty choppy throughout the day. Here's another valid trade where we would have been out. That was actually a small winner because we'd have been out there. Up again, 1 point below the second green bar. Valid short trade here. Stop loss goes a half a point up 1 point above the top of the red bar. We're ticked out there. We lost about a point and a half. Let's call it 2 point loss there. So it was just a bunch of small losses today, but it was just many of them. They were only basically like 2 point losses, but there was just a whole bunch of them, which doesn't make it fun, that's for sure. Toward the end of the day, it finally got a little bit better. Here's, valid loss here. It was only 1 point, but that's a losing trade. Actually, it was 2 points. But that's a valid trade. Again over here, and finally had a little bit of luck on this one here. This worked out pretty well. That was a nice little trade where it ran up until we had 2 greens in a row right there. There's just 2 greens in a row, and we'd have been, stopped out on that one at 29, but we got in at 24. So that was a 5-point winner there. That helped to clean up on some of the earlier losing trades. We actually had a winning trade, but it was just like a minute, 2 minutes before the close. However, technically speaking, that's a valid trade. I mean, we got to have some kind of, we do go by rules and times, and even though it was a few minutes before, it turned out to be a valid winner. Toward, going into technically the market closes at 4:15, which is 1:15 Pacific. So, if you get a trade a couple of minutes before and it's still going, and especially if it's really going, fast in our direction, well, heck, we'll take it. So we wound up picking up like about 5 points on that trade here. But that's a tough one to pick up because it was right before the close. But it was a winning trade, so I point out the losers, so I got to be fair and point out the winners too. I don't play favorite. I mean, I don't cherry pick. I'm going to show you everything here. There's winners and there's losers. This, by the way, was the dead zone, so we didn't touch on any of these because we don't start. We take off between 12:30 and 2 Eastern time. Being that going over thousands of trades, we found that it was a break-even proposition, meaning there were some winning days, there were some losing days, but if you took every trade between 12:30 and 2 o'clock, you broke even on a 1-year basis. So when the odds are telling me when the probability is we're going to break even, we're not going to risk our money on that. We're going to sit on the sidelines for that period. So good time to eat lunch. Anyhow, hope this was helpful. I'm here every day. I'm always glad to help. Feel free to ask anything I can do for you. We'll be back at it again tomorrow at the Open. You're welcome, Mike, Mike M, and everybody in the room. Thank you for being here. I hope I was helpful, and let me know how I can. Oh, one last question, Cheryl. Yes, I do recommend the 2 green bar exit. You put your stop loss just 1 point below for NQ, half a point if you're trading ES, and for RTY, 3 ticks, which is 30 cents. Three ticks away for the stops, or on the 2 green bars. Michael Z's asking. So, hope this was helpful. Stay in touch. Let me know how I can help. Have a good night.